Rudy is known as the millionaire real estate agent maker at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. His passion is to help real estate agents and brokers 10x their income with no cold calling, no prospecting, and no door knocking. He has been featured on ABC, CBS, Fox News. Riz Media named him as the 2020 real estate newsmaker. And Exelon Magazine also named Rudy as a top 10 most admired business leaders in 2021.
Instead of focusing on your weakness, instead of trying to improve what you are weak on, if you want to be successful, focus on your strength, develop your God-given talent, because every single one of us, we all have this God-given talent, right? But then, if you don't practice, you don't develop your God-given talent, it's useless. Look at every athlete or anybody that's successful in their field. Do you think they're born like that? They practice every single day. Right. But they practice on the one thing. Yeah. The problem with real estate agents, DJ, they try to practice on the stuff that like 20 different stuff. So now they become average in everything.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Today is special. Today we have our special guest, my new friend, Mr. Preston Guyton of Easy Home Search. Preston, why don't you do a quick introduction about the history of your Easy Home Search and yourself, so that way everybody know about you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I got into real estate 20 years ago this year, actually. I got licensed in 2004. I'm in the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina market. So we are a market where a lot of the buyers come in from different states, different areas. So early on, I focused on online lead generation, building custom websites. So I built a custom website for myself as an agent and used that to grow my business, continued to develop those skills over the years. Launched a company in 2010, CRG companies. We did home construction, real estate sales, and home design. And I ran that company for 10 years, used website lead generation to grow that company. And in 2020, I sold out of that company. In 2019, I actually started building Easy Home Search because my wife and I opened a Revolution Mortgage branch, and we used that to generate leads. In 2021, that Revolution Mortgage branch was the #1 in the country franchise, or the branch in the country, and ended up getting out of that because I wasn't just not a big fan. I mean, I was a real estate guy, right? So I wasn't really a big fan of the mortgage industry. So I opened another real estate company in 2021, Palms Realty, and we grew that from 0 agents to 120 agents in 3 years. Actually just sold out of that company as well. Greg Harrelson bought it. It's a Century 21 Palms Realty now. My business partners there are still on. But the same thing, like I used Easy Home Search as a way to grow that business at a rapid pace because of exclusivity. And now that's kind of where I'm focused on. Easy Home Search today is helping teams and companies across the country through exclusivity grow their business, grow their brand, and understand that in whatever county they buy, they receive all the buyer leads, seller leads, and cash offer leads as well.
Wow. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about, because you are not a tech guy who get into a real estate space. You're one of us. You're one of us. You're a real estate professional. You are building your team, and you saw the need. So let's talk about the genesis of this. What do you see back then when you're growing your real estate sales team that you felt there's a need to develop this? Because it always intrigues me, Preston. Every time I see something genius, it always births out of necessity, right? So I want to hear your story about what happened in your real estate sales team back then.
Yeah, I mean, really, and when I got in, so I took computer science in college. I've always been kind of fascinated with tech and computers, and so in 2004, I looked at it. I was like, hey, I don't really want to go door knocking. I don't want to do those things. I really want to focus. I saw there was so much traffic coming in and so many people buying in our market from out of town. So the idea back then was, hey, I want to use this as a way to get in front of people before they actually get here. And, in 2004, I was generating hundreds of organic leads a month through SEO and all the content we were doing back then. And it was, 2004, people were very surprised when you called them on the phone. So your answer rate was probably over 50% back then, because nobody was really doing it. Like every agent didn't have a website back then. And, when they came in, they weren't getting automated calls. You were actually manually calling them. So I was able to grow and scale my business pretty quickly back then. And then obviously 2007, 8, 9 wasn't the greatest years in real estate. So like many people, I pretty much lost everything I had because I invested in real estate. I was young, in my early 20s, and I was like, hey, real estate's booming. I'm going to continue to invest and invest and invest. And, some of those properties I bought for 500,000, I had to sell back to the bank for 150, 200,000. So on the other side of that, I, found myself 400,000 in debt and had nothing to show for it. I wasn't going to file bankruptcy. So I was like, I'm, continue to pay the bank back. I looked at my wife at the time. We just got married, and I knew I started building spec houses throughout that time as well. So I looked at my wife, and we decided to start CRG Companies, was real estate sales, construction, and design. And we built that up. The same thing with lead gen. Like every company that I've built, I've leveraged lead gen and the things I'm able to do with lead generation to grow the company quickly. And in CRG, we got to a point where we're doing 20 million a year in custom construction, mainly oceanfront construction. And when I sold out of that, I think we did 120 million that year in sales on the general brokerage side. Same thing with Palms Realty. We looked at it at the very beginning, and when we launched it, we made sure we had all the logos, we had all the software in place where the agents could quickly share on social media and do all the things. So like as soon as we opened the door, we made a big splash. Within 2 months, we had 20 agents. We used exclusivity of easy home search and leveraging that so people understand that, hey, if you come to Palms Realty, every lead that we generate in the county, you receive. And agents, when they hear exclusivity, when you have that conversation with them and they know that, they're getting every single lead, nobody else has the opportunity to get those leads in that market. It's a great way to accelerate growth within a company and within an agent as well, like an individual agent, because, for us at Palms Realty, we're generating over 1,000 leads a month. And all those leads were going into ponds. The agents were able to call, we're able to do training with our agent excellence program. So there's just so many things that if you're buying leads at scale, that there's so much opportunity just beyond that individual lead, right? And I tell people this, in your database, you're more likely to get a referral from somebody in that database that you build a relationship with than to actually sell somebody in the database. So, obviously you could sell a lot of people in the database, but my point is you do a good job, you're going to get a ton of referrals by building that relationship.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of gold nuggets right there. Now, Preston, let's talk about you are leveraging online to grow your team. So let's bring it down to a little bit more mechanics. How practically you grow Palms Realty, so your real estate brokerage, Palms Realty, you are using your company, Palms Realty, as a guinea pig for the first, basically as an experiment for you to grow Easy Home Search. So let's talk more about exclusivity. If I'm a real estate agent at your real estate brokerage, how are you leveraging this to help me to grow my business?
Yeah, for sure. Generating leads, we're bringing them in, we're using those leads to create. So we built a program called the Agent Excellence Program, and that's really where we were able to scale and grow, because I think we added about 80 to 100 agents over 2 years. We retained about 50 to 60 because the Agent Excellence Program was built to help agents that are brand new to the business or been in the business for less than 2 years. So they would come in, they would take them through a 6-week program. But because of exclusivity and all the leads we're generating with that, we're able to set up trainings, we're able to set up ponds, we're able to do these things where the agent, because you could role play with agents, right? But there's things that you're not going to say to me necessarily, and I'm not going to say to you, but somebody on the other line is going to say it, right? So when you have the leads, the amount of leads, it just allows you to create training and systems and processes that without that lead flow, you're not going to have the ability to. So that was a big part of how we're able to grow. And then the individual agents, they have the leads that they could openly call. I mean, we have one of the ponds is a big ocean pond. So after 30 days, it lands in there. Well, there's 50, 60,000 leads in that pond that agents can continue to call based on activity and all those things. And they can't necessarily go to another company in our market and get that because they're not generating the amount of leads and bringing in the amount of people that we are. So for the agent, I mean, it just allows you to accelerate that training through actually doing with like consumers and, making the phone calls to the consumer, where if you're just role playing, I mean, role playing is great, but your role playing partner might be weak, or they're just not, they're just kind of a pushover, where somebody on the phone, depending on what time you catch them, it could be a great phone call, or it could be a not so great phone call. And, you really have to put the reps in to get really good on the phone, to be able to handle those conversations.
Yeah, you mentioned just now that the power on this having an overflow business. We can only grow our business when we have an overflow business. And most people only focus on closing their deals. But you mentioned about leveraging the relationship with the consumers in the database, building your business through people in your database. So in our team, Preston, we talk about always 3x the transaction, meaning for every one customer, we close 3 times. Can you speak more about how can we leverage growing our business by leveraging relationship with the customers that are already in the database? Don't just focus on that one customers, but building relationship through that, leveraging one customers to get more listings, leveraging a buyers to get more listings, leveraging listings to get more listings. Let's talk about multiplication.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I tell people, and I actually spoke about it in Tahoe last week, was you really need to do a really good job of segmenting your audience or segmenting your database, right? When I say segmentation, and also taking notes, like if say I'm calling you and you're a consumer, and you told me 2 months ago that you're thinking about buying in the next couple months, and I call you and say, hey, are you ready to buy now? And I didn't have any notes. I didn't have any information. It would be a much better conversation if I kind of picked up where we left off. Maybe your daughter was graduating high school, and your family was, whatever the information is. If you had that information and that started that phone call in a way, say, hey, Rudy, how'd your daughter's graduation go? How's she doing? Where's she going to college? How is your family life? Whatever it is, whatever you shared with me back then, just pick up where we left off. And so many people just jump, okay, this person said they're buying in the next 3 months. Let me call them and say, are you ready to buy now? And that's the conversation. I mean, you look like every other agent that does the same thing. And there's a lot of them that do that. So, really focusing on building a relationship with your database, actually understanding who the person is, who they are, what do they like? Do they have dogs? Do they have pets? Just all the information you can about them, so you can have a better conversation and you build a better relationship. And then they actually feel like you care, right? You care more beyond just this one transaction. You're really interested in, how their life's going, and, how things are going at home, and everything else. So when we have that next conversation, it's better. And you build a relationship with them. If I have a good relationship with you and you're doing a very good job, why wouldn't I refer my friend to you, right? Why wouldn't I refer my neighbor to you? Because you build a relationship with me beyond just real estate.
Yeah, and this is the power, you guys. This is the power of partnering up with online platforms such as Easy Home Search here, Preston, because we are leveraging that initial relationship, we're multiplying for more, so that way we can be more efficient, more effective, instead of spending a lot of our time prospecting, looking for clients. Now,
Yeah,
Preston, Go ahead,
And
sorry.
one thing, one thing I want to share with that too is what we're doing on our side, what I'm focused on doing. See, I know all the struggles that agents have. I know all the struggles that teams have. So what I'm trying to do with Easy Home Search, actually what we are doing, is looking at all the things I know that will push the needle, right? Like I know the listing details pages we just launched yesterday with new call to actions, with better call to actions, with making sure that team or companies advertise on every listing detail page, because I know as the consumer continues to see that logo, continues to see that information in their mind, when they want to make a reach out, they're going to actually click on that, right? So we're doing all the things we can. We're also doing, where I talk about segmentation of the audience, we are pulling, so we have first party data, which is the data that happens on the website for every single consumer. We're also pulling in third party data where when we send, say we send you an opportunity, right? And they're looking in LA County. Well, wouldn't it be important to you to know, hey, they're looking in LA County. They also own a home at XYZ Street in LA County. So, hey, let's send that team a notification and say this could be a potential listing as well, because they live in the same county they are searching, and their home value of the house they live in is, I don't know the values there, so this might be way off. Maybe it's 500,000, and they're looking at $1.5 million houses. So that's a good opportunity for somebody that's moving up. I would love to be able to share that data with the team so they understand, hey, this is somebody that is actually moving up. They have a house. We could potentially get a listing. And the same thing the other way around. If their house is worth $2 million in the same county and they're looking at $500,000 houses, it could be an opportunity for you as an agent to potentially get a listing and a buyer at the same time. So those are the things that like we're focused on our end. You know, everything we focus on is ideas that I have and ideas that I have, knowing that I've been in the same seats you've been in as far as a real estate agent or real estate team leader. Is all our focus is on things that we could help the consumer have a better experience, but two, the agent to get more information to when they're speaking to that consumer, they have a better opportunity to convert the lead.
Yeah, for many real estate, I did not know, Preston, and it's on me. I did not know about Easy Home Search up until maybe a couple of months ago when I first met you. So for real estate agents and brokers who's watching this and they're not familiar with, they don't know about Easy Home Search. Why don't? Because the moment I heard about Easy Home Search, I instantly fell in love with it. So can you share, number one, what is Easy Home Search? What is Easy Home Search? We talk about, I saw all your posts. You are talking about the change in real estate. I talk about it, building the real estate office of the future by leveraging the Easy Home Search. So let's share about what is Easy Home Search. How does real estate agents and brokers benefits from Easy Home Search, just in general, and then later on we'll talk about LA County specifically. But now let's talk about what is Easy Home Search. For many real estate agents like me a couple of months ago, never heard of Easy Home Search.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually started, I started building this out 4 years ago, like I shared, and it's actually changed. In business, a lot of times what you originally plan on doing, it was originally built to generate mortgage leads for the mortgage company I launched, because you can't dangle a carrot. You can't get somebody to register on a website to get interest rate information. You just can't do it because they could get that anywhere. So I built it out to pull the leads in because people want to see the pictures of homes. And through the year, it was originally built on Sierra Interactive platform. We got to a point where we generated about 300,000 visits a month, and we brought it in-house, developed our own website. We launched the initial website last June, and then it's a new iteration now. We launched the updated iteration June 10th of this year. And so it's a national website platform. We're in 172 MLSs across the country right now. The goal is to be in 250 to 300 by the middle of next year. When you get to about 300 MLS, 250, you pretty much have national coverage. You might not have some of the smaller MLSs covered, but it's built so the consumer can actually go search anywhere in the country. As far as what we do with the teams or real estate companies we partner with, we sell out exclusivity in a county. The exclusivity is based on the population transactions for the county. and there's no referral fee attached. So it's the fee of the exclusivity. Now, it's not just leads we're doing. We're actually now we're moving into, we're going to start creating blog content for all the teams we're partners with that want us to create blog content, because we've done it on the SEO side for the websites that we built through the years. So that's one of the things we're doing. We're also advertising the client, when they come. So say somebody comes to a county that company has exclusivity in, they're going to see that team's information advertised on all the listings in that county. Once they register, it'll populate a phone number on that listing details page, where if they click on the phone number, it'll call that team. A lot of people are using Follow Up Boss. So they use an inbox number in that scenario, where they click on it, they call the inbox, that lead information sends to Follow Up Boss and that phone call as well. But yeah, I mean, that's really, if you look at it, it's, a national search platform. And we're pulling in all the IDX feeds from all the MLSs we're a part of. And then, we're continuing to develop, like we're starting our app development next month. That'll launch in the first half of next year. And that's really, with the app, like a lot of things we're focused on, we see the struggles, like, people answer the phone maybe 10% of the time with the leads you call. Text messages are getting harder and harder to send with all the compliance issues. So like when the app launches, we're going to have in-app messaging. We'll go straight to the consumer. You'll be able to share a showing tour contract, not the buyer's agent contract. We'll just have a showing tour. So if somebody's online and they opt in to allow the agent to message that person, then they could send a showing tour contract. They'll be able to send messaging. They'll be able to, if the consumer opts in, the agent or the team will be able to log in and actually, if they want to change the safe search, they'll be able to do that as well. And then all the messaging we send out, like we're starting to pull content based on that county. We're sending a newsletter out each month, and it's going to highlight the listings for that team, the team's information. We also do that with the e-alerts, that we send out e-alerts twice a week. We're moving that to where the consumer can opt in to receive those daily. Those e-alerts as well have the advertising of that team. So if say I'm the consumer and I'll respond back and say, hey, I want to view this property. Hey, can you change my safe search? That actually goes to the team. It doesn't come to us. So really what we're doing is everything we're doing on the advertising side for the teams or companies we work with is always promoting that agent in that county. So like a county in Florida, the consumer looking there, and the county in California of a consumer looking there, they're going to get two total different newsletters that are advertised and marketed to whoever that team is that has exclusivity in that county.
When I first met you a couple of weeks ago, you allow me to get exclusivity in all Los Angeles County. And then we'll talk about sellers and cash offers inquiries in San Bernardino County and Ventura County. And I instantly thought, this is genius. So can you talk about what does it mean when you are speaking about from easy? So from the way I look at it from my perspective, Preston, is that I'm focusing on growing and developing this real estate sales team. In the last 12 months, my team and I, we sold over 1,000 homes. But like, what's the next step? Like, how can we leverage this online? As you know, the world becoming more competitive. So when I first met you a couple of weeks ago, to me, it's just a no-brainer, right? But then can you explain more? What does it mean when we get exclusive buyers, sellers, and cash offers inquiries? Because right now we still have real estate agents, Preston, that's talking about CMA, right? They're talking about the one that's doing the door knocking, the traditional door knocking, because I feel like the future of real estate is that either you build your own team, or you join an existing team. So let's talk about what is the cash offer inquiries. How can we leverage that to get more listings in this market today?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things we wanted to focus on, because we built the MLS, we built out the MLS search, and I know listings are a big thing for all agents, right? Like if you really want to grow and scale your business, you need to get good at getting listings. I mean, you could take a lot more listings than you can sell a lot of buyers. There's nothing wrong with buyers. Obviously, it's great, but you could take a lot more listings than you can sell buyers in a year. So we wanted to build out the AVM tool. What that is, it's an automated valuation tool where if you put in an address, it'll show a value based on the criteria that we have, based on public records and everything else. So we built that out. That was something that was very important for us to have, and we built that out over the last couple of months. We launched it, I guess, about a month ago. So if you go to Easy Home Search / what is my home worth, anywhere in the country, I think we have 94 million residential addresses, which is about 92% of residential properties across the US. And then condos, I think it's about 84%. But anywhere so you could type in the address, it'll give you a home value. We pull in the home value the Easy Home Search home value. We also pull in a home value from Homely, which is another AVM tool that comes up with a value as well. You compare those two. We have a low, mid, and high range on the home value. But we also, there's another company we partner with, Homeward, that's in 13 states across the country on the cash value, on the cash offer side. And so if there's a cash offer available in your market, once you have the home value, you put it in there. It asks you if you want to receive a cash offer. If it's available, then it populates the number. If it's not available, it gives you the option to submit unavailable. So to your team, right, you would get a notification, this person submitted a cash offer, but it's unavailable in your market. It then gives you an opportunity that say, hey, this person is obviously interested in enough to click on another button that says, hey, give me information on a cash offer. To me, that shows that there's more of urgency to sell. To me, that should be one that's moved up and called more often or reached out to more often. And for you, I think you have other options for cash offers as well. Then you could say, okay, let's put the address in, although it's unavailable through Easy Home Search. Maybe I have another partner that I could send them a cash offer to. So for me, I would be sending in a message to them saying, yes, I see that, Easy Home Search did not have a cash offer available to you, but we went ahead and ran your address. Would love to, at some point sit down with you and present what we have. And we actually have a cash offer we could offer you. And obviously, I think it's like the numbers like 90, 96, 98% of people actually do not take the cash offer. Or somewhere in the 90s, and maybe it's not that high, but it's a very good tool to use to get that listing. And that's what most people do. They use cash offer to get, because obviously the traditional listing, they'll net more money at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And here in our team, Preston, we generate 9 cash offers within less than a minute. So this is beautiful what you have done for our team. Now, Preston, many of the real estate agents in my team, this is the first time they're watching you, they're listening to our relationship here with Easy Home Search. If you're speaking to the real estate agents in my team now, everybody wake up early this morning, 7 o'clock, just to watch you. So how does it benefit the real estate agents in my team to have this exclusivity with Easy Home Search for LA counties, Ventura County, and San Bernardino? Like, what does it mean? If I'm an individual agent, I partner up with my team, and now our team has this exclusivity, and what does it mean for me? And what does exclusivity means as a solo agent? As a real individual agent in my team.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the one big thing is they got to be a part of your team to have access to it. Like if they're not part of your team, they're not going to have access to the lead. And I could tell you that I've built several different companies, several I've sold out of using lead gen, and this same type. This system is a lot better than what I've ever built for our own team. And I'm not going to lose, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to ensure that the agents on every team we're a partner with is getting the most opportunities they can. And we're going to continue to develop in a way where it's just going to get better. Like and I know we only met a couple months ago, but like we have gone so far in the last 6 or 8 months on what we're building, and our roadmap ahead is we've already outlined what we're doing over the next 6 months. We're constantly hiring, we're bringing on investments, we're bringing on partners, we're bringing on things to where we could just continue to accelerate growth. And this is what I'm passionate about. Like this is, if you look at all the things that I've done and all the things that I do, like this is the one thing that I love doing. And that's not going to change. So really the big thing though, for you and for them to understand that if they went down the road to a different team, they don't have access to this.
Yeah, let's talk about
And,
Oh, I'm
and, to,
sorry,
and
Ted.
yeah, and to me, I mean, that's the, that's the biggest value. Like, we're going to generate thousands of leads for you and thousands of opportunities, but not only the initial generating the lead, we're going to do all the things on the engagement side that we know, we're building out some really cool things on the marketing side that is going to analyze what the consumer is doing, and then it's going to forecast what they're going to do next. So then we could push the marketing to them. I look at like the e-commerce space and all these different spaces that get us to buy, like Melon's a great example. They get me to buy freaking hats all the time, but they do such a good job in their advertising. And that's really what I'm pushing to do, is like generate marketing in a way. Obviously, you're never going to just see an ad for Easy Home Search, say, oh, I want to buy a house today. But we're going to continue to put the message. We're very focused on educating the consumer, educating the consumer, always being transparent, not only transparent to the consumer, but transparent to the teams we partner with. So they know what they're getting with Easy Home Search, right? So those are the things we're continuing to do and just continue to accelerate growth. But the big thing is that if they're not part of your team, they don't have access to it.
Yeah, that the moment, Preston, you and I, we never met a couple of months ago. The first time I met you and you talk about exclusivity of buyers, sellers, and cash offer inquiries in the county, I would like, sign me up.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what's coming up
Yeah.
next, right? I was just, to me, this is just beautiful. Now, let's talk about online leads. And this is, I think, my last question here. Let's talk about online leads. Let's talk about consumer behavior, because you started this in the 90s just for your own team. To me, that's like genius because I think most people back in the 90s were just doing door knocking. But can you share about what are some of the changes in consumer behavior today, and why it's so important for real estate agents, teams, and brokerage to thrive in 2024, 2025, and beyond, to really understand what the consumer behavior and why partnering up with national online platform like Easy Home Search, why this is so crucial.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it wasn't the 90s. You're trying to age me too much. I actually started in 2004, but that's but it's changed a lot since 2004. Like 2004, the consumer behavior, there was not a whole lot of automations. AI did not exist to where we could actually use it like we do today. So the consumer behavior then was they were actually answering the phone. When I was calling them within a minute or 2 or 3 minutes of registering, they were excited. Wow, you're fast. How did you do that? Just surprised that they were actually getting a phone call. Where today the consumers, the one thing that we do is, anytime we hand off a lead to a team or company, it has to have a phone number attached. So, the things we're doing is like 30% of the people that register on Easy Home Search do not provide a phone number, where in 2004, I think pretty much every lead that came in, we got a phone number. So those are the things. I think people are a little more protective of their information, although it's everywhere. And those are the things that we're focused on. Like, now the answer rate might be 10%, right? So that's, we're focused on ways to message. That's why we're building the in-app messaging and website messaging, because if you have an app on your phone, push notifications are opened about 90% of the time. And an email on average, which our e-alerts are open over 50% of the time, but an average email is open about 30 to 40%. And then a phone call is answered maybe 10 to 15% of the time, just because there's so much spam out there. And then text messaging, obviously with compliance, is getting harder and harder to send. So those are the things that like we're focused on with the consumer today is, they're less likely to answer the phone. So let's build it in a way that we can message them within the app, within the website, and make it easy on the team or the company. And then search habits. Like, a lot of people are getting more and more okay with searching online and then getting to the area that they're looking to buy and only looking at a couple houses. They'll land on more of the area they want to be in. Like, it's important to be able to get all that information as well. Like, we have all the schools on there. They could look up schools in the area near a listing. We have a API integration with great schools. It actually rates all the schools, so so many people are doing the research before they actually come to the area they buy. And it's important for us to make sure we have access and give them access to that information so they don't have to go to other websites.
Wow. Did you say you have a 50% open email rate? Is that what you say from your platform?
Yeah, the e-alerts are actually over 50%. Yeah, so 50% of the e-alerts are being opened, clicked on, and like that's what we're always testing messaging, because what a lot of companies struggle with is emails, like email deliverability, especially so many changes that Google has passed this year, so many changes. Those are all the things I'm paying attention to. Like, okay, we're going to make sure we're delivering messages. If the message, we tried a group of messages over the last month, and I called it abandoned shopping cart, but it's really what it was: people that registered and did not put their phone number in. So we tried these 3 email sequence and then an e-alert sequence at the end to try to pull that phone number from them. Over the last 30 days, I noticed that deliverability wasn't great on the email. The open rate wasn't great. So we just canned it. So those are the things we'll continue to do. It's not like we're turning it. And that's what I coach teams and companies on as well. Just don't turn on an action plan and let it run for 12 months and think it's doing okay. You actually have to monitor and check that, because if that email is not being opened, your deliverability for the domain is going to go down, because from Google's perspective or whoever, whatever you're sending is spam because nobody's opening it and reading it. So those are the things we're focused on. So we launched another iteration of that 3 email sequence that's launching in the next week to really do, because if I look at, like, we generate about 15,000 leads a month right now in the system. January, we'll be generating about 30,000 leads a month. And about 30% of those leads don't put in a phone number. So to me, I'm like, okay, what kind of messaging can we create to get them to come back and actually put their phone number in? Say, if I could capture 20 to 30% of those that don't put in a phone number, add a phone number, that's another couple thousand leads a month that we could send teams and companies. So those are a lot of the things that, like, I'm focused on, and, looking at the consumer and seeing what they're reading and what information they want to have in front of them. Like with our newsletters, it's not just going to be blank content that we just build out with AI. We're actually going to build content out that people actually want to read. The more people that read it, the more they share it, and the more they think about Easy Home Search when they're want to buy a property. And then we have all of our partners, like yesterday or day before, we launched it to where if anybody is searching in LA County and they just do a blank search, they're going to see your preferred partner information in there with your logo and your phone number and your email address on the listings, just in the search. So those are the things we're continuing to do to make sure the consumer sees that company that we're partnering with.
That's awesome. You are changing the real estate industry landscape here. Now, Preston, I know we are up here about 40 minutes now. Is there anything else that you want to share to the real estate industry, especially now in 2024? There are a lot of changes, and then real estate agents and teams and brokerages, they always they're like, okay, what's next, right? So is there anything else you want to share? Maybe the new development, what's coming up with Easy Home Search? What are you working on every single day? Where do you see the real estate world is going in this as we end 2024 and launch 2025? So give us some of your insights so to help real estate agents, brokerage teams to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's funny that we're always looking for the next thing, and the thing that worked 20 years ago works today. I tell people that, John talked about it in Tahoe, was 1, 1, and 1, which, as far as doing your prospecting in the morning, looking in your database and following it with past clients. If you just build, people get into real estate a lot of times for more time and more free time, and they never build a schedule. If looking, it's going to be the fourth quarter here in another week. So really, you need to start focusing on next year, right? Next year, what's your plan for next year? Don't wait until next year to build your plan for next year, because you're going to be behind if you wait until January. But it's really building a simple schedule. Like for me, like what we're building with Easy Home Search, we want to make it simple for the consumer to use. We want to make it simple for the partners to use. And if you build a simple schedule, simple daily schedule, daily routine that you follow every day, and you'll have success. I mean, too many people overcomplicate their schedule, or, hey, let me jump on this next thing or this next thing or this next thing. We're going to continue at Easy Home Search to do what we can to make it easier for the teams and companies to convert leads, and easier for the consumers to search and understand that, hey, you're a consumer. We're not passing your information to 20 different companies. It's going to the preferred company in that county, and that's the only person that information, your information is going to be shared with. But yeah, for the agents and teams, I mean, keep it simple. I just, to me, I think that's a big part of, my success is I've pretty much kept this. I tell people I feel like every day's Groundhog's Day, because I get up and it's like if you saw that movie, it's like the same thing over and over again, but I love it. I mean, I get up at 4 in the morning, 4:15, and, I have the same schedule every single day, and it allows me to be consistent in my life too, for my kids and everything else. Like, it's important for me to be off work by 3 in the afternoon so I could go to golf with my kids. I could do all the things with my kids while they're children, so that's important to me. But we'll just continue developing, and we'll continue growing. And for us, it's very, very important for me. I tell people real estate saved my life in a lot of ways. Real estate has provided me all the things that I have for my family. And, I owe a lot to the real estate community and the industry. And that's a big part of Easy Home Search. Like, I see people struggle with so many different things where you have to pay big referral fees or whatever it is, but we're always going to be consistent that it's going to be a county exclusivity fee. The county exclusivity fee may grow as the traffic grows, but it's never going to be tied to a referral fee or anything else, because I know how hard it is for brokers and team leaders. And then it allows the agents to make more money. If you're not paying a referral fee, there's more money to be paid out.
So you mentioned about keeping it simple, doing the mundane, mastering the mundane, right? So the way our team is set up, Preston, is that, so I think every month now with LA County, Los Angeles County, Ventura, and San Bernardino, you give us at least I think 1,000, because 600 in Los Angeles County, 650 buyers and sellers in Los Angeles County, and then Ventura and San Bernardino, we just inked the deal a couple of days ago. So I'm expecting maybe around 1,000. But so those leads come in, and then it goes to our inside sales team. Our inside sales team check their time and motivation to make sure they're ready to buy and sell now. And then we book the appointments, face-to-face buyers and listing appointments for the real estate agents in my team. So when you talk about mastering the mundane, doing the same routine over and over and over again, which I completely agree, right? Every day since the first time I get my license, 2007, and today, basically keep on doing the same thing. The sales training is the same schedule every day at 8 o'clock here in the office. But so the question is, for a real estate agent in my team, when you talk about mastering the mundane, like, can you be more specific? Exactly, like, what do I do? I'm an individual agent. The company provide me with buyers and listing appointments. I show up, I deliver my buyers and listing presentation. If I get it signed, that's beautiful. That's straightforward. But if I don't get it signed, like, what's the routine mundane for real estate agent, number one? Number two, for team leaders, I partner up. I help real estate agents to grow and develop their own team. So those are the two audience that share with us the mundane.
Yeah, I mean, for sure with that, I mean, your buyer, what you're delivering to the buyer. I mean, now you have to show the value, right? So never think you're a master at your buyer or listing presentation, right? Like, never think you're a master, meaning always practice it. Like, your buyer presentation, your listing presentation should change now because of Easy Home Search. Like, Easy Home Search, it's very important for that seller to know that, hey, you're on this national platform that is accelerating growth, and we're a preferred partner in this county. And guess what? Every single listing is going to be highlighted with our information, and every single listing that is in our office is going to be on bold. So if somebody just does a random search in LA County and they don't put in price point, or they just, search LA County or city in LA, if you have any listings in that city or that county, they're going to be highlighted first. Like, they're going to be before any other listings. Now, if they put in price point, and you have listings in that price point, it'll still be highlighted. But if they do just a random search, all your listings are going to be highlighted. So, for me, like if I don't get the listing, if I don't get the buyer for whatever reason, I'm just going back and working at that. Okay, what can I do better? Just put in the reps, put in the reps, put in the reps, continue to practice, because yeah, it's mastery is continuing to do it, because especially, in a listing presentation, buyer presentation, that's going to change based on what you're doing. So in what you're talking about, if they're not doing the prospecting calls, then focus on that listing presentation and that buyer presentation. If they're doing prospecting calls, get better at prospecting. Just continue to work, continue to take the notes, continue to do all the things and build a relationship with that database. But yeah, just continue to focus on that listing and buyer presentation.
That's awesome. So our vision is, so we just started with Easy Home Search, Los Angeles County, San Bernardino, and Ventura. So the vision is, do you know how many counties in California?
Do I know how many? No, there's 3,127 counties across the U.S. And when we came up with county exclusivity, I looked at the number. About 1,500 of those counties are sellable, meaning there's enough transactions in those counties. There's enough population to where we could actually see. Some of the counties will just, if it's a teeny county beside a bigger one, we'll just give that to the team because it's really not enough transactions to sell that county. But so those are numbers I look at. We roughly have 1,500 counties that are sellable across the country. And once they're sold, exclusivities for 6 months. What I tell people that are exclusive, and then somebody behind them, if they lose exclusivity for they back out or whatever, the leads can continue to search with Easy Home Search. Just the team that had exclusivity won't see that. That's what's cool about it. Like all the activity that is happening in Easy Home Search as well, you could see in your Follow Up Boss account, right? Like you see the saved favorites, you see the property views. You'll get information if they request a home value. All that information is pushed to your account. Like any information we're getting, we're sharing with the exclusivity part, which makes your ISA jobs a lot easier, right? Because they're getting information on all the activity that's happening, doing their job as a great ISA team. And y'all, I think, are working with Travis as well, who is, as an ISA, and that's another thing that you could talk about as well. But he's, as an individual ISA for the last 7 years, he closed over 100 houses a year just as an ISA, and now he's working with your team as well.
Yes, your Travis is brilliant. I think my ISA manager just gave me a report. Our ISA appointments just increased by 10% in the last in the last month here. Today it's September 24th, right? So in the month of September, we increased our conversion appointments by 10% because so it's not just lead generation. So you're really working the database, which beautiful. Preston, thank you so much for your time here today, sharing insights about Easy Home Search. I'm looking forward to continue our partnership here. The vision, the goal is to continue all the counties, Preston, all the counties in California. If you allow me to be your exclusive partners, we are open, right? We are opening up in San Francisco now. We have 10, no, how many? 10, 10 or 12 real estate agents in Santa Clara. Maybe that's still too little. I don't know, depending on your traffic. But we want to continue to expand this relationship with.
We haven't sold out San Francisco counties yet. We're in that MLS in the Bay Area, so we have, I don't know what those counties are, but we're there for sure. But yeah, and thank you. I mean, you're doing all the things that a great leader is. Your leadership and investing in this for your team. I mean, they need to understand that there's not a whole lot of leaders out there doing that. There's not a whole lot of leaders, and just like you said, your ISA team was successful already. You're spending money and you're spending time bringing in Travis to help them grow. And guess what? 10% more appointments. So you're doing all the work. They just need to follow your lead and they'll have success. But it's, I'm excited for Easy Home Search. I'm excited for this partnership. I really appreciate you having me on, and just know we'll continue to work hard. We'll continue delivering on our side, and that will never change.
Yep, this is the time to grow, you guys. When everybody else is shrinking, right? When this is why I'm so excited. When I first met you, Preston, we never met in person. I watch everything you do online, and because when everybody else is shrinking, because everybody is out of fear, right? Most people they operate out of fears. There's a lot of change in the marketplace. The way I see it, this is our time to grow.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is our
yeah.
time to grow.
Yeah, most people are paralyzed right now. Most people in any times of conflict or any times of, right now with the market shrinking, and I saw it in 2007, 2008, and I might have done it for a little bit as well, but I told myself at that time, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to stand still. And a lot of people just get scared and you've seen it. I've seen it in agents that were really successful and are just like paralyzed right now. I'm like, what are y'all doing? The only thing you can do is continue to move forward. And it might not be as good as it was last year. You might have to work a lot harder to get the same results, but I would much rather work harder than struggle to pay my bills.
Yeah, and there's a lot of opportunities. Just like I met Preston, like in the last 4 weeks. This is the first 4 weeks I met Preston. You already give us over 200 buyers, sellers, cash offer inquiries in LA counties. And Preston, this is and I really want to end, but man, there's so much good stuff. I really have to end. And Preston, my last this is what I need. I'm going to show you this. Give me your insights of this, okay? And so I'm sharing with you, this is my follow-up boss. So in the last 30 days, this is happening this month, 32,000 brand new leads. So when people are talking about the economy is shrinking, I don't even know what you're talking about. There's a lot of opportunities. The market is growing. I know Easy Home Search is growing. This is what's going on in our team.
Yeah, scroll to August.
How do we do that? Sorry.
Yeah, just on the above there, follow the line. It shows you the amount of leads you got each month. But go
to August. Sorry. Here.
Yeah, 3,600 in July. Look at August. That was the first month you got Easy Home Search leads.
Oh, this is the first time I met you.
9,728 leads that month. 3,600 in July.
Oh, this is so cool, Preston. Yes. I didn't pay attention on that.
Yeah. So. That's what we're focused on, continuing to drive opportunities for your team and company and help them grow. I mean, they definitely have access to the opportunities to definitely grow their business and reach whatever goal they want to reach.
Yeah, and it's not just the leads. You don't make money from the leads, but the conversion, right? Travis, I mean, man, I don't know, because I never, I personally don't work with Travis, Preston, but then I know I asked my database manager, Fanny, our sales manager, Feline, and us, and Hazel, everybody, I just received a text message here from Fanny saying, hey, our conversion is up by 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, and I didn't even notice this when you say August. I never hardly I show this, but I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Travis, thing about me. We're both very, very passionate about what we do. It's funny. He and I share an office. He lives above my office, so we're in the same market, which is really cool. We spend a lot of time together, and he shares the same passion in conversion that I do in lead generation, creating opportunities for teams and companies. So it's every day's exciting, and we're exciting where we're at and where we're going.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for trusting my team and I to serve Los Angeles County, Ventura County, San Bernardino, and we're going to continue to expand in all California. Thank you so much. Say hello to Travis. Tell him we all thank him for increasing our conversion by 10%. That's beautiful. So Preston, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to do more business with you guys. Make a great day, everybody. Go Serpic.